Friday, June 13th, 1996. I left Los Angeles aboard my sturdy sport utility vehicle at 7 a.m. on a typically bright sunny morning. A road trip. However, I wasn't just going on a road trip alone across the country. I was, as I told friends and family, going to write a book. A book on finding myself and my family. The mission was to drive west coast to east, stopping off along the way, interviewing each member of my family, and compiling the juicy revelations into book form. It didn't matter that I'd never written a book before and had the slightest idea where to start. The idea sounded so good. Plus, I had a great story. Incognito by Michael, Sydney, Fosberg. Shit. Oh. Chapter 1. The Valley. So, Mom, what's this I hear about you and Dad getting a divorce? Oh, well, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. When exactly did you think you'd be talking to me about on my way to the airport? Well, I don't know. There's really not much to say. Not much to say. She tried calling a few weeks after the incident. Michael? Hi. Can we talk? I don't think so, Mom. Why not, honey? I just think it would be better if we didn't talk for a while. I need some time to sort some things out. I didn't speak to my mother again for about 6 months. I blamed her for this tragic failure. I blamed her for everything. The failure of this marriage, the failure of her first marriage to my biological father, the inability to communicate to her children, the breakup of our family, and on and on and on. I did not take into account that perhaps she was miserable in her present relationship or her first marriage. I never even bothered to ask her in all these years past what had happened to my biological father, who had disappeared from my sight and memory at the impressionably tender age of 2, a man whose image had been thoroughly buried in my mother's tight memory vaults. I went from losing dad number 2 to not knowing dad number 1 to the future or remote possibility of acquiring a dad number 3. It's not about your mother, you know. What? What are you talking about? Your anger doesn't directly have anything to do with her. It's your father. He's not the one who wanted the divorce. No, stupid. Not him. Your real dad, your biological, or whatever you want to call it, bloody father. Whoa. Wait a minute, Joe. Are you suggesting that I'm angry with my birth father? Do you know who he is? No. Have you ever asked your mom? Well, sort of. What? Sort of. Well, I know his name, and she once told me that I look like him. Anything else? Not really. I never even imagined what it would have been like to have grown up with my father. I mean, who was he? Mom, I'm sorry for what I said to you. Look, I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I haven't spoken to you in so long. Look, I have some questions I need answered. All right, I'll give you all the answers I can. I need to know about my father, about my biological dad. What do you want to know? I'll tell you whatever you need to know. Well, who was he? I mean, where did you meet him? What happened? What was his family like? What was... Hang on. Hang on. Let me get to these questions first. I've told you his name was John Sidney Woods. It was true. She had this and a passing reference that I looked just like him had been my sole fragment of evidence that he existed. I met him out east at school when I transferred from the University of Illinois to Boston University. He was a handsome man. Beautiful. I fell in love. And then got pregnant. Well, was I a mistake? Oh, Mikey, honey, don't use that term, honey. That's not right. Maybe you weren't exactly planned, but you were never a mistake. Anyway, we were so young and scared, Sid and I. Sid, that's what everybody called your father. Well, what happened? Why did we leave? Oh, I don't know. I guess things just fell apart. We were so young and scared, and we were just kids. When my mother found out about our situation, she came out and begged me to return home with her. I knew I couldn't live like that any longer, so I packed us up and we went back to live with your grandparents in Waukegan. What happened to my father? We got a divorce. As I tried to process all of this, I realized what I had to do. Mom, I'm going to try to find him. What? Why do you want to do that? You have a father, John Fosberg. He is your father. He did raise you. Yes, he is my father. He did raise me. I understand that. Look, I don't know how to explain this. It's as if I were a large jigsaw puzzle and there was this one piece missing. I don't even know if it's a significant piece or not, but I know I need to find it to complete the picture. What if I find him? What would I say? What if he doesn't want to speak with me? How would I react to that? Was it fair of me to impose myself on a man who'd been absent from my life for so many years? What if he has a family and this creates an embarrassing situation? What if none of these names on this list are my father? What will I do next? Finally, I grabbed the phone and punched the top number on my list in, my heart pounding. I heard the phone ring twice, and then a click. Hello? Hi. I'm looking for a John Sidney Woods. You're speaking with him. Did you live in the Boston area in 1957? Yes, I did. Were you married to a woman by the name of Adrian Pilposian? Yes, I was. My dad! First try, first time, 30 years later. I didn't even hear what he said next. My name is Michael Fosberg, and I'm your son. You know, son, there's a couple of things you should know I'm sure your mother's never told you. Well, like, what? Well, first of all, you should know that no matter what you thought happened, or what you were told, I've always loved you and thought of you a lot. For the first time, my father, my dad, my biological procreator, my blood told me he loved me. There's one other thing I'm sure your mother's never told you. Well, what? I'm African American. My body went numb. I felt lightheaded. I was standing next to my bureau, and my body just sank. I braced myself with my left hand while I continued to hold the phone with my right. I felt very warm. Your grandparents are Roy and Lois Woods, descendants of the Woods and Robinson's family from Jefferson City in Columbia, Missouri, and have been living for the past 40 years in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Wow. That's all I could manage. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm good. I'm great. You're right. She never bothered to mention that. My mind was on overload, sorting through the assortment of information and emotions. Then I started in on the what-ifs and if-onlys. If only I had known before I filled out applications for college. February 17th, exactly 2 weeks after I'd spoken to my father, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I was most likely in some sort of dream state, jarred awake by the familiar sound of the phone. Oh, Jesus, who is calling it? This hour? Oh. Hello? Hey, sugar, how you doing? Had I heard that correctly, or was I just dreaming? You still got them big feet? Then somehow the voice hit me as deeply familiar. Sugar, you there? Yes. My dream state was replaced with one of instant recognition. Where the hell you been? We've been expecting you 10 years ago. Granny? I approached meekly, having never uttered that word to her before. Well, yeah, sugar, it's me. How the hell are you? Well, I'm fine now. I feel like I'm finally home. You sure? Our door's always been open for you. I always thought there was enough warmth in Eddie and the warmth that was in John Sidney. There had to be warmth in you. I just knew there was enough warmth and closeness that one day there's going to be a knock at our door. You're going to be standing there wanting to know, is this a residence of the parents of John Sidney Woods? Here comes Papa. I turn and find myself practically eye to eye with a tall, handsome, husky, older black man. It is my grandfather, Roy A. Woods. I drop my bag, I shake his hand, and I wrap my free arm around his shoulder. He is visibly annoyed by the Brit with the circling camera, but smiles warmly and says little. Hey, Lee. What? I say, hey, Lee. What are you talking about? You and your father. What? Your father, Ugg, and you, Lee, and between the two of you, you're the ugly twins. Hey, Sherelle, come over here and meet my cousin Michael. Hey, Michael. How you doing, baby? Does she know everyone, I thought? I'm real good, thanks. Hey, what you doing tomorrow night? We having a party. Oh, well, I'm supposed to be going home tomorrow. Oh, no, baby. You can change that. You're going to want to party with us. Well, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Oh, yeah, baby, we're going to bring the house down. You're going to want a piece of that. Yeah, sure. In that instant, I suddenly have a realization of what my life may have been like. Summers on the vineyard, the inkwell, the parties, hanging with the sisters. As I revel silently in the joy of those images, in the same breath, I realize the other side of that picture. Shame, confusion, racism, ridicule, not knowing where I stood, black or white. Where and how would I have fit in? What race am I? Am I black? Am I white? In the end, I was not raised black. I did not live through the black experience. I was not a target of racism, was not singled out because of the color of my skin, was not turned away from or called names. Does that make me any less a black man? Do you have to have that experience to be black? All my life, I've worn a disguise, a mask of identity. Incognito is defined in the dictionary as an adverb meaning with the real identity concealed, with one's identity hidden or unknown. So what am I now? Who am I? What box have I been checking off on applications or the census? Caucasian, African American, mixed, biracial, multiracial, mulatto, octoroon, high yellow. How about AAA? African American Armenian. Is there a box for that?